Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal matches in this final block. A very warm welcome back to all of you here to the European Judo in Warsaw. And the first of the bronze medal matches features Gulnoza Matinyazova of Uzbekistan. She's up against Valentina Maltseva of Russia. Don't worry about the graphic up in the top of the screen there. That's just telling you who's coming up next. We've only got the one mat here, so that second bronze medal match that you can see on the right hand side, that'll be up immediately after this one. Matinyazova has got to be, for me, the favourite for this one. She's shown the better judo today, although Maltseva, Valentina Maltseva, has been, I'll call it combative. Her style has been combative. She's an aggressive and gutsy little fighter. I say little, but she's 70 kilos, so 10 kilos more than I am. So but she has been quite punchy, I think might be the right word. Punchy. Yeah, brings Matinyazova down, and the referee gives UK. It was away from him. It wasn't the best of scores, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt there. He wasn't in the best position to see that. Gave a Yuko, but there wasn't enough for the score. Wouldn't fault him for that. Almost going over again. She's a little bit flat-footed here, Matinyazova, and she's standing still when quite clearly Maltseva has got her number. You know, got to start moving. It's like a boxer who is in one spot. He's going to get hit. And if she hangs around there for too long, then Maltseva's going to open up and catch her. Yeah, and I think there's enough there to claim the score, because there was enough control of Matinyazova on the way down as the Uzbek fighter hit the tatami. She landed heavily. And yeah, Maltseva was in control on the way down. Matinyazova attempts to take this over, and you can see the right leg. If you look at Maltseva's right leg on the way down, it's almost like a Kosotogaki that she hooks in there. Watch her right leg. Just as they turn here, whoop! And over goes Matinyazova. So yeah, a good score for Valentina Maltseva of Russia. She takes the first of the medals, and it's a bronze medal. The second of the bronze medal matches features Asma Niang of Morocco, and she's up against Lola Mansour of Belgium. It's Niang in the white judogi and Mansour in blue. Both fighters a little bit bent over. Mansour really needs to stand up here. He doesn't want to get pulled in to that kind of battle with Asma Niang, if she can avoid it. Not sure what's happened with in the top left-hand corner. We've lost the timer for some reason. I'm sure we'll get that back underway. A minute 51 is what's left on the clock as Niang has picked up the single penalty. There you go. You can have 2 scoreboards if you want. Okay, just 1 then. Right, I'm going to say a very good afternoon to Agatha Ozdobal. Good afternoon.
Yes,
How
hello.
are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're not nervous, are you?
I
You
don't
must
think
be.
so.
Your friend is about to take to the tatami. There's
My 2 friends.
a reasonable crowd, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be that Poland will take a second, maybe even a third gold medal. That would be a terrific day. We've got in the under 70 kilo category coming up next Katarzyna Klis. She faces Tsendayusz Naranjagl. I'm assuming that your 2 friends are Klis and Beata Pakut as opposed to Klis and Tsendayusz Naranjagl. Your 2 friends are Klis
Yeah.
and Pakut. Okay.
Yeah, Patut, yeah.
Because
Exactly.
it could have been Klis and Tsendayusz. Maybe you know them both. All right, it's not. 2 penalties picked up by Niang. Lola Mansour now picks up a penalty for that overly defensive grip, and almost walking on to that yuko there is Niang. Couldn't quite finish off with that. So a little over a minute left to go. Where does Katarzyna come from? Is she from Warsaw or
No,
somewhere
she's
else?
from Krakow.
Okay, and what about you?
I'm from Warsaw. It's on the south of Poland.
Don't worry, we all know that. Because we've all been there. We've all
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed the hospitality of Wrocław on a couple of occasions. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the previous president of the Polish Judo Association came from that region,
Wrocław.
Wiesław Bach.
Yeah, that's my coach.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we've always been happy to go out there. And another little place that's close by, another town, Opole, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my family town. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I like it
I'm
there.
born there.
And what I like about it is that, seeing as we've got a moment, we can just talk about this a little bit, is things in Europe change, you know, and over, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years, but over generations things change. And a couple of generations ago there were, you know, political problems and war and all those sorts of things, but they never wiped out the history of that area and the fact that, you know, it was, and, you know, lots of Germans lived there and the German language and all sorts of things, and they never wiped it out. We went to restaurants and in churches, and it remains. There hasn't been that kind of ethnic cleansing that you've seen in some other countries where they don't even want to admit that something else ever existed. And it's such a nice, it seems like such a nice blend, being able to keep history that it's not really ours any longer, but we know that it happened, and we just kept it there. I thought that there weren't tensions there. There wasn't a tension about it. It was really nice. And some people even still spoke German there. So, yeah, I like that area.
Yeah. But Warsaw was very damaged after World War. And
Unbelievable.
now it's
yeah.
rebuilt, very modern.
Yeah. Some of it is attractive, and other parts, well, we just leave. That was another nice effort from Mansour over on the right side. They're attacking strongly and low down. Niang has got the gift of catching people after a break. I can't remember who it was that she threw really well. Oh, Kashkin of Kazakhstan with Sumigaishi immediately after the break, and Kashkin was still kind of, you know, catching her breath, and then she got thrown for Ippon.
Yeah, and first fight of Niang was very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
that's
threw
right,
her
yeah.
also for Sumigashi.
That was another Kazakh fighter, wasn't it? She ended up
against
having
Polish.
a few of them, then lost out to a very difficult Russian fighter there, Valentina Maltseva. Maltseva we just saw winning out over Gulnara Matinyazova of Uzbekistan. She's quite a tough little fighter. I'll tell you who we haven't seen this trip that you might be able to tell us about. What's happened to Halima Mohamed Sagir? She injured again, or what's happened to her?
Yeah, she had injury of one knee, then of second knee, and now she has a problems with core.
Her back,
Back,
yeah.
with her
Or spine.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think
yeah.
So
That's a shame because, you know,
Mhm.
she's a talented judoka, and I think there would have, you know, if she'd been able to keep away from the injuries, we could have expected a little more from her. Mansour is going to pick up a penalty for taking a drop there, and as Niang presses on. 3 penalties picked up by the Moroccan is going to be enough for Lola Mansour of Belgium to take this one.
Maybe Asma didn't know that she's gonna fight because like 5 minutes ago I was with her like eating and we spoke, so I think that maybe she wasn't prepared for this fight.
Oh,
She didn't
did she
expect
think
it.
it was going to be a long break?
Yeah,
But all the
maybe.
athletes were told. I mean, you know, we
Mhm.
told all the teams, so maybe the coach, you know, didn't pass that information on to her. Anyway, she managed to come up with the win, and it's Lola Mansour who takes that bronze medal. Okay, well, now it's nervous times then. Katarzyna Klis of Poland faces Sendayush Naranjago of Mongolia. It's Klis in the white judogi, Sendayush in blue. The referee in the middle is from Romania. Just switching on his headpiece there. It's not a bad audience, to be honest. You know, it's a reasonable crowd, and I can see some of the Polish team making their way down to the front so they can give some
support our judoka.
stronger support. This has got a left hand with some, you know, the fingers heavily
Taping.
bandaged there, yeah. And it looks as though some of that is new. Maybe she just had that put back on today, even before the fight. It's easy when you've had your fingers separated, you know, to separate them again. So it's best to try and wrap them up and be safe, but it can be difficult for gripping.
To grip,
It takes a long time to get used to that. You also got her right ear taped up, so maybe a bit of a bruise there that she's trying to protect.
No, it's because just examinations we had today.
I was going to say, because
The blood.
I've seen a couple of people with,
yeah, Polish
with that.
team had
Yeah. I thought it was a style, you know.
yeah. Everybody is asking us
Stylish.
yeah.
Stylish, yeah.
about this.
Mongolia took 2 gold medals yesterday. They'll be delighted if they can take a 3rd today, but I think Sendayush is going to have her hands full here. I'm not sure whether it was, it was Klis getting caught holding on to one side of the jacket there. And picked up that Shido. Plenty of time, however. I wouldn't worry about that at the moment.
Nice effort.
Yeah, and that's one way to break up that grip. You know, if you find your opponent's got a grip that you're uncomfortable, you just throw that little makikomi effort in there and get rid of it. There's no shimiwaza there. Just that single Shido, that's the only thing on the board at the moment. This again looking to go over on the right side, and it's Sendayush. She just gives her foot a tap and brings Klis down to her knees again. The Mongolian trying to work something in Nevaza here as she comes around to the right side and again attempts the shimiwaza, but it's across the chin. The referee sees that, he calls mate, stands them back up, and how long have we got left then? A little over 2 minutes.
Today Kasa won 2 fights for single Shido, so I think that she can do it one more time.
Yeah, there have been some close fights then. Mongolian coach giving Sendayush a few tips. I'm not sure whether they should be able to use any of them. The crowd getting into it now. Yes, it's the right idea, I think, to go for that. Oh, yeah. Osodogari, I think, right-sided for Sendayush. That'd be a good technique for Kliss if she can get across there. She's got that right leg pretty close to her at times. There you go.
Yeah, that's good. Wow, Ippon. Good idea.
Just what we were looking at. You know, Sendayush should have seen that twice. Kliss showed her that side, and there was the danger there, and she still kept coming forward with that leg. It was open. That side was open. Oh well. You know, sometimes you make a mistake, and that was an error by. And I'm sure that this is what the coach was saying. Her coach was screaming at her, and I'm sure she was telling her, "Look out for that," because we could see it coming, but Sendayush could not, and over went Sendayush for Ippon, and it was really well done. Katarzyna Kliss takes a second gold medal for the Polish team. Yesterday, Aleta Podolak, and today, it's Kliss.
Nice.
What is it that the Mongolian is trying to do? There's a movement. She just lifts the right leg as though she wants to come across, and it's at that moment that Kliss attacks, and over she goes. Well, you can stay around for another possible gold medal.
Yeah.
It's raining gold in Warsaw this weekend. It's a really terrific effort from the Polish women's team here, because Borowska took a bronze medal, didn't she?
Yeah.
We've already had 2 gold medals, 2 golds, a bronze. I mean, they could even come up with a third. It's unheard of. Really, you know, you need to be a super strong host nation to be able to take that number of medals. So it's a great weekend for Poland. Right, coming up next, the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 78 kilo category. Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia faces Yahima Ramirez of Portugal. It's Dmitrieva in the white judogi and Ramirez in blue, and I'm joined by Agata Ozdaba. Good afternoon again, Agata.
Good afternoon.
You must be happy now.
Yeah, of course. Second gold medal for Poland.
Agata is going to be sitting here celebrating soon. Oh, party time. Well, tonight there'll be a party, yeah, for the Polish team?
Yeah, yesterday was a party.
I can't believe it. What, a second party then?
Too
Second
late.
party. Did you tell Mario where that party was? Because Mario's a party animal. He knows. Okay, he said he knows. Right? He's had the invite already. Both fighters pick up penalties. Dmitrieva will be disappointed. She came in here as the number 1 seed. Didn't want to end up in a bronze medal match. And this is now a must-win contest for the Russian, because at least you'll go away with a medal. But to come in as the number 1 seed and walk away with your hands empty, that won't please her. Ramirez, on the other hand, she was seeded number 3, so she too can come away with something if she takes the bronze. But there's only 1 medal here, so someone is going to go home without it, and she's going to get penalised for. Well, she could have. There were 2 things there. One was for avoiding to take the grip. The other one was the kick of the right leg there, which had no possible chance of coming up with any ashiwaza from there. It was an untidy effort from the Portuguese, and she picked up a second penalty. Patrick Roux is here for the Russians, but he hasn't been in the chair. And from time to time you see him in the chair, but not on this occasion. What's going to happen now then? Both fighters pick up penalties. I think if you look at the number of penalties that
Of Ramirez?
Ramirez has picked up, it's astonishing.
Yeah, she lost against Beata Pacut from Poland.
You know, it
For
really
3
is.
penalties, yeah.
It's just not right. She had 2 penalties in her first contest, 1 amazingly in her second, so that's 3. She had 3 in the semi-final, so
It's
that's
already
6.
yeah.
And
right
you know,
now.
she's up to 9 penalties in the 4th contest. Someone else had that last week. We pointed that out. And then she shakes her head as though, no, it shouldn't happen. It's not me. You know, how could that possibly happen? And it's done and
Maybe it's
dusted.
finished.
It's over. They can easily give Dimitrieva one, and Ramirez another. That'll be the hand sokomake, and that's it. Now, in football, if you collect too many yellow cards, you know, a yellow card here and a yellow card there and a yellow card there, sooner or later you're gonna get told you're suspended. And, you know, and I think, you know, when a fighter has and the behaviour here is so poor. She won't bow when she walks off the mat. Oh well, okay. Maybe I'll have a word with the Portuguese about it. It's not right. You know, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, she's mad.
You know? Now, if this was the first time that she'd been penalised, I'd say, yeah, you know, well, it was just unlucky. But you can't come to the end of the day, say, oh, I was penalised 10 times, it's not my fault.
Maybe she had a bad day.
No, she quite often had bad days with penalties. Anyway, it's for those in control to decide what to do with it. We've got a second bronze medal match coming up next. Leia Talan of Spain faces Anastasia Turchin of Ukraine. It's Talan in the white judogi, Turchin in blue. The two Russians can celebrate, and Anastasia Dimitrieva has a little bit of a smile on her face. She hasn't even broken sweat. Dimitrieva. You know, most people who come there are just dripping with sweat. But she didn't have to worry, you know, just done. Right, we're underway with the second of the bronze medal matches then. Anastasia Turchin is the exciting prospect from the Ukraine. Still young, strong and growing into the weight category, I think. I said earlier on that she'd done quite a lot as a junior. Well, those days are behind her now. Time to mix it with the seniors. She almost steps onto that Uchimata there. She doesn't get herself in the best position. She's not the number one in the under 78 kilo category for Ukraine. It's Victoria Turks. Turks, yeah. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Couldn't just finish off with the hands, that's all. Had the left leg in the right position as she sat down and trapped Talan's foot. But couldn't come up with the control of the top half of the body.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll have a look. Is that something that you employ, that little sit-down technique? Is that something you do?
Rather not.
Better not.
I'm doing Tanyotoshi.
Uh-huh. We won't tell anybody though. just everybody who's listening at home. Good score on the board for Turchin now. She leads with, well, a little under 3 minutes. There's plenty of time there. We have to see whether Talan has got enough to come back. It's just a Yuko, I think. Not even that. Oh. Well, very unusual. Yeah. It's not often that you get the referee making that kind of error. Wazari maybe a Yuko or Yuko Wazari, but something. But Wazari to nothing is that's a biggie. And just to let you know, I mean, you may not be aware, but when that kind of thing happens, you won't see that referee again. That'll be it for the day. It won't come back in another medal match. They just say you're a little bit off the pace today, so we're going to have you sitting down. Left-sided effort from Turchin, but the Spanish fighter is able to step off that.
Uchimata for Uchimata.
Yeah. Both fighters have been penalised once. We've had half the contest. Turchin slow to get to her feet and just rubbing her right knee there. Grimace on her face as she sets herself up for the second half of the contest. She thought that she'd scored a Yuko at one point, but they took that back. Now again, she's a little bit slow to get to her feet, so definitely not feeling at her best. There's a little tap of the right foot of Talan, and then she looks to go left-sided
that was
again.
Nice try with Ochigari. Ochimata and Ochigari from Turchin. Maybe if she turns more, it could go.
It's a tricky little setup because Turchin is beginning to turn more and more to, you know, to a left, and Talan is turning more and more to a right, so they're going to get quite extreme side on. Going to make it difficult for either of them to get far enough across. It's Turchin who picks up a second penalty, this time for passivity. That's a better look from both of them, although Talan then turns sideways. A little over a minute left to go. Still waiting for the first score here. Turchin a little bit untidy with the footwork. It's not one thing or another. There was no real attack there. Just threw the left leg out and nothing happened. Mind you, Talan isn't doing a great deal. Time's running out pretty quickly here. She can't get the right hand on. And Talan at the moment has got the wrist. She's gripping her wrist. Turchin's wrist, so making it difficult for the Ukrainian to get any real leverage, to come up with maybe a left Uchimata. I think that's what's in her mind. You can see it much better now. She's having problems getting the right hand on. Oh, time running out. Talan perfectly happy now to go to the ground. Well, we've been unlucky with the two 78 kilo category bronze matches. One ended with the Portuguese getting Hansuki Make eventually after a fourth penalty, and this one giving up 3 penalties and no score. So maybe Beata is going to deliver for the Polish team. Karen Stevenson is her opponent from the Netherlands, and I think she must be about the number 3 or number 4 on the Dutch team, because you've got Kusha Steenhuis and Marhinda Verkerk, the 2 Dutch fighters above her. So she's got to be, at the very best, number 3. And I suppose there's some juniors around who are probably, you know, pushing there. In any case, we're going to see, because coming up next, it is the final of the under 78 kilo category. Karen Stevenson of the Netherlands faces Beata Patsut. Yeah, we've been saying Pakut, but Patsut. It'll be Stevenson in the white judogi and Patsut in blue. And there's no need for me to ask Agata Ozdoba who she thinks is going to win this one.
Of course, I think that Beata will win.
Right.
Yeah, she was fighting today, very, very good. Yeah. She won against Talan and also against Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez.
Yeah.
It was a good contest. She's also sporting the little plaster on her on her left there. Oops, goes over very quickly there. You just want to take that little bit of time to keep someone like Stevenson away from you in the beginning. That has gone now because Stevenson was very, very quickly into that, now leads by Wazari. Yeah, the Dutch fighter in a comfort zone now. That Marote Sionagi Right-sided for Wazari. That was the first exchange between the pair. Well, that's a better grip now.
Almost.
Judo for passivity, picked up by Stevenson.
Beata is right and left sided.
Yeah,
She's trying like Uchimata, left Uchimata, right Uchimata.
And she just had a little go at that Koichi at the end there, didn't she? Koichi Gari.
Yeah.
As she was coming out from one tech, throw that in as well. You never know.
Really good, yeah.
Right-sided effort, yeah. Oh, she does roll her. And a chance for the Osai combi, but it's gone. You can still try and work on the arm, especially if you can get the left leg over the top. Well, that's gone now as well. And now with 2 minutes to go, you can have a quick look at the clock and see the scoreboard and see where the balance is now. And all of a sudden, it's Patrick with the advantage here because Stevenson is the fighter who's picked up the single Shido. So it was a really good effort there from the Polish fighter to come back from Wazari down. Needs to get her head up there.
Oh, nice.
Almost getting the left leg around the back for Tane Otoshi. Here she goes on the right side. Just takes one sleeve and that's all. That was enough. Yeah. Lost her hair grip. Referee would carry a few of them in his pocket, you know, for occasions like this when it happens, you know.
Yeah.
Minute 46 left to go. Wazari apiece. Stevenson has picked up the single Shido, but the force is with Beata Pakut at the moment, not just because she scored last, but because you got the home crowd backing her as well. He's just to keep tight on the ground now. Slipped that possible effort on the arm from Stevenson. Yeah. This will suit Beata Patrick to work on the ground.
Just 1 minute to go.
Burn up some of the time on the clock. More and more you'll find Stevenson wanting to stand up. This is the time when Beata could be a little bit clever here. A couple of attacks to stop any chance of being passive. And if one or two of them lead to her getting a chance to work on the ground, all the better. What a chance here for the Polish team. Stevenson shows you now she's not interested in the Neowazo. So it's not rocket science here if Patrick can just get that opportunity to work on the ground. And a Koichi that we were talking about earlier on. She showed her that once, threw that in there again, and now here's a chance to really eat up some of the clock. If you can just free the foot, even if she can't get the hold, she can come around and work a little bit. You just couldn't get far enough around for the referee to allow that to continue. 36 seconds left to go. So close to a third gold medal for Poland. Really, what a terrific result that will be. Oh, no chance to come up with the Uranagi. And another nice effort there. Just got to stay tight on the ground. 22 seconds. There won't be a chance for passivity here now after that attack. That's it now. That's it now. Just move round to the top.
10 seconds.
And Poland are going to take their third gold medal. Close even to coming up with the Osai Komi, but that's a terrific effort from, and in an unexpected area for a gold medal in the under 78 kilo category. Beata Paciuk. No, I'm not taking anything away from her. It's been a terrific performance, but we weren't expecting that from her this morning. I certainly wasn't this morning. Agata Ozdoba knew that was going to happen, but I didn't. That really is a terrific result. 3 gold medals for Poland. I can't remember the last time that I've been to a European Open and seen the host nation so strong. I'm really pleased for the Poles, because they've worked hard at this event over a number of years. With, I think this is the 3rd or 4th different president now who's been in charge while they've been trying to promote this event. So really, really good result. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Agata, thanks very much for coming to join us. I'm not going to keep you away from your team, because I know you're going to want to go and party with them, start the celebrations. It's been really nice of you to come over, and we didn't have a visit from Arleta Podolak.
Maybe she will come.
No, she said she was shy.
Or tired after yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't have to come. They don't have to come here. Yeah. But you can tell her it was easy. Look how easy it was.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It really was nice of you to come over. Right, we're going to let you get back to your team. We're going to do the awarding ceremony in the under 70 kilo category. Thanks, Agata.
Thank you.
Right, it's the awarding ceremony in the under 70 kilo category. Medal winners are lining up. There they are. And there goes Agata.
The medals will be presented by the sports director of the European Judo Union, Mr. Alexander Gastovich. The bronze medalists are for Belgium, Lola Mansour, and for Russia, Valentina Maltseva.
Right. Bronze medals go to Lola Mansour of Belgium and to Valentina Maltseva of Russia. That's a nice graphic, by the way, from our team. Well done. Is that you? Oh, well done. That's Mari. Mari was responsible for the graphic. The silver medal goes to Sendayush Naranjagl of Mongolia. The gold medal goes to Katarzyna Klis of Poland. What a weekend they've had, the Polish team. We may get to have a word with Karen Stevenson. She's just taken a seat there, so when we come up with the next bronze medal match, we'll have a word with Karen Stevenson. How's that? And now the national anthem of Poland.
Thank you very much. And now a group picture with a VIP and judoka.
Teraz krótka zdjęcie, czas na zdjęcia z VIP-ami.
Next category. Women over 78 kilo, bronze medal contest.
Kolejna walka to walka o brązowy medal w kategorii wagowej plus 78 kg.
And it's a very good afternoon to Karen Stevenson. You don't hear anything? Oh. I can hear you fine. There you go. I can hear in both. Just say something.
Why?
So I can hear. I can hear you fine.
But
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
And what about now?
Yes.
She's got more hair than I have. That's why. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That close.
That
Really.
close.
And you scored first.
Yes.
It's a nice score, strong score. And for that moment, you looked as though you were in reasonable control. But she came back strong, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the crowd was supporting her. What about that? You know, a little bit.
Maybe after the Bazari from
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
it was the crowd.
Yeah. You're in a strong weight category in the Netherlands because you must be number 3 or number 4 in there.
Yes.
You know, how is that? That you got a nice trip out here. You've come back with a medal. How are you feeling after that?
I hope to get a chance at Grand Prix. So they made a decision who's going to Olympics for the Netherlands. So I hope that's positive for me.
They've made it already. I'm surprised at that because we've still got a long period. And anything can happen. And even if you speak about the qualification period, there's still that period after that. You know, so I'm surprised that they made the decision. Anyway, that's the business.
I'm surprised too, but I hope it's good for me.
Well, I hope it's good for the Dutch. You know, because Husha Steenhuis to me is a strong fighter, and she's improving all the time. She's getting better and better and better all the time. So if that decision is to take Marhinda Verkerk, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. Anyway, that's their business. It's not mine. And yours, in any case, is the next cycle going up to Tokyo. Is that your goal then?
Yeah, that's my goal.
Terrific. Okay. Well, we hope you see. Your first fight, it was a bit punchy, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was a bit weird and all over the place.
Yeah. I thought it. I didn't think it was deliberate. I think it was not controlled. She didn't appear to be controlled.
It was very wild.
Yeah, but you had some good wins. I mean, Anastasia Dimitrieva, she came in here as the number 1 seed. The Russians are normally well prepared, so
yeah, that one was easy.
I won't tell her that.
I won to her in Lisbon. Then it was very close, and now it was easy with 2 times Bazari.
And then the Ukrainian Anastasia Turchin. Maybe you just like to beat people called Anastasia. Right, and then the final. Well, we just saw that anyway. So we look. Where are you next? Where are you going to compete next? Grand Prix, maybe.
I don't know. I haven't got.
I'll speak to Dutch coaches for you.
Yes, please.
I say a good word. Okay. Right. Congratulations, Karen Stevenson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
No, because we always called you Stevenson, but it sounds like English name.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But it isn't.
It isn't.
Right. Okay. Congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you.
We'll see you on the podium. That was Karen Stevenson. Eventually. Yeah, I'm surprised if the Dutch have already selected their representative at under 78 kilos for the Olympic Games. There's no need, you know, take your time. You've got a little bit of time before you have to announce it. Anyhow. Pakanita leads here by Wazari, the Lithuanian over Yelisaveta Kalanina of Ukraine. Uchigari on the way out there, and then Osodagari, again Uchigari. And there she was, her attempt there by Pakanita. But the Wazari on the board is the problem for the tall Ukrainian. Terry Clover, the referee from Belgium, just asking the 2 fighters to tidy themselves up. It's nice when we're this close to where the fighters are, because you can get them easy. They come over and say hi. We would have said hello to Anastasia Dimitrieva, but I know her English isn't 100%, so we'll leave that one. Right, 1:20 odd left to go. Paganita still leads by Wazari. Kalanina trying to find a way past the strong defence of the Lithuanian. You can see that with the left arm from Pakanita, just pushing into the ribs there of Kalanina as she attempts to go right-sided. Some of the position and balance and breaking of balance from Kalanina leaves a little bit to be desired. She's not the finished article. It's not a polished finish there. And it remains to be seen whether they can get her ready for the next cycle, I think. As long as she hangs in there, there's no reason why, if Kalanina doesn't stay around for the next cycle, why she shouldn't make it. I don't think she's going to go this time around. She just needs a little bit of speed. Her efforts look slightly laboured, and the other heavyweights can see it coming, you know. Just pick up the speed a little bit, and maybe she'll be able to crash a few of these over. Uchigari again, the thought from Kalanina, but not able to execute it, and she isn't able to stay close enough to Pakanita there to bring off that makikomi. Kosodagaki was the thought at the end there from Kalanina, and that's a good effort. And it's good to see the tall Ukrainian flat out there, having given everything. Shows that she's got some desire. That's what you want. You want to see that as the coach. You know, if your fighter's going to lose, they should lose having given everything. And that was a good effort there. Well, there was a lot of effort there. There was a lot of effort. Right, we've got a second bronze medal coming up there. Pakanita taking that one for Lithuania. Now our teammate has a chance to take the bronze medal. Sandra Yablonskita faces Marina Slutskaya. Yablonskita in the white judogi and Slutskaya in blue. Right, we're underway with the second of the bronze medal matches now. Sandra Yablonskita of Lithuania in the white judogi faces Marina Slutskaya of Belarus in blue. Single Judo picked up by Slutskaya at the moment. A little over, well, just under 2.5 minutes left to go second penalty now picked up by Slutskaya.
Chwila, moment, bo już jest wynik. To już nie ma co chyba robić. Złota będzie.
The bronze medalist in blue for Belarus. Up next, the final for winner number 78 kilo.
Right, we come now to the final of the plus 78 kilo category. Vanessa Zambotti of Mexico, the number 1 seed, faces Zhenya Chibisova of Russia, the number 2 seed. So that's worked out well, hasn't it? Top two seeds in the plus 78 kilo category are going to go head to head. They both bring their own personalities to the mat. Vanessa Zambotti, larger than life, and Chibisova slightly more sedate and reserved. And they both got their own fighting styles. Zamboti slightly excitable and erratic at times. Chibisova sometimes a little subdued. She gets caught there, and Yuko goes on the board early after a bit of ashiwaza from Zamboti. Brings down the Russian. Going to have to be tight now. Try and keep Zamboti off from either applying an arm lock or turning her over into Osaiwaza. It doesn't happen, and the taller of the two is up on her feet quicker. Is prowling around and searching for a grip on Zamboti. Goes high up on the collar with the left arm, and now it's a good strong grip. Mind you, Kalanina had a good strong grip, and she ended up going over. Little ashiwaza again from Zamboti. Just unsettled Chibisova for a moment, but nothing serious. And this grip isn't the best for Chibisova to work from. She's not going to get across there unless she can break that grip up. She's the taller of the two, is Chibisova, and should, by rights, have an advantage in getting that left arm around the collar. There it goes now. But Zamboti doesn't wait around. And as soon as the arm goes over and there's an opening underneath, there's a space that's created by that big arm going over, and into that space turns Zamboti, and she rolls Chibisova over that shoulder. So that was the big arm, and underneath went Zamboti. Say what you like about Zamboti, that was very well executed from the Mexican. That was good work. And Sasai Tsurikomiyashi, the thought there from Zamboti, just flashed at that for a moment. There's plenty of time here. There are 2 scores on the board, but with Chibisova going over again, it's Rosari Awazeti Ippon. Disappointment for Xenia Chibisova, as she was caught 3 times there by Zamboti. Once, maybe twice. Well, it was a problem, but 3 times she was overawed, really.
The gold medal is supplied for Mexico.
Złoty medal zdobyła zawodniczka z Meksyku.
Vanessa Zamboti.
Well, I said she was subdued sometimes, Chibisova. She was definitely subdued by Zamboti on that occasion. In fact, she was steamrolled, completely overrun in that contest, Chibisova. Never got into it. Right, we are going to have the awarding ceremony in the under 78 kilo category. We'll come back to me for a little bit. We'll talk about who's won what and who's done what. Then we'll have the awarding ceremony in the plus 78 kilo category, and it'll be a big bye-bye. But let's have a look at a few highlights.
Ceremonia dekoracji zawodniczej z kategorii wagowej do 70 kg. kategorii wagowej do 78 kg.
The medals are presented by the marketing director of the European Judo Union, Mr. Eric Boas. The bronze medalists are from Spain, Laia Talar, and from Russia, Anastasia Dimitrieva.
Bronze medals goes to Laia Talan of Spain and to Anastasia Dimitrieva of Russia. The silver medal goes to Karen Stevenson of the Netherlands. The gold medal goes to Beata Paciut of Poland.
The trophy and gloves presented by the Olympic medalist Maja Kalai. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please all rise for the national anthem of Poland.
Panie i panowie, proszę o powstanie do wysłuchania hymnu narodowego Polski.
And now the national anthem of Poland.
Thank you very much. Finally, concerning the European judo.
Well, I don't think it comes as any surprise to people at home when I say that I've seen a few tournaments, because I have. But there can very rarely have been a European Open where the host nation has really pulled out all the stops as far as the performances are concerned. 3 gold medals for Poland, 1 yesterday and 2 today. Arleta Podolak in the under 57 kilo category, Katarzyna Klis in the under 70 kilo category, and just having a medal presented there, Beata Paciut in the under 78 kilo category. They've really done a terrific job, and they can be very proud of this weekend. We've got another European Open taking place in Prague at the moment, and you can go online and check those results for yourself. But I'll just tell you what the medal table was here. 3 gold medals for Poland. There were 2 for Mongolia and 1 each for Mexico and Israel. But it was the Polish host nation who topped the medal table. We've got one more awarding ceremony. We'll do that for the plus 78 kilo category. Then we'll come back and I'll tell you when we've got more judo on for you. Let's have a look at the medalists in the plus 78 kilo category. She's a happy soul, isn't she, Vanessa Zambotti? Sławomir Kojnaszki, the president of Polish Judo Association, gets to present the medals. And the bronze medals go to Marina Slutskaya of Belarus and to Santa Pakanita of Lithuania. The silver medal goes to Xenia Chibisova of Russia. She came in here as the number 2 seed and finishes number 2. But the number 1 seed, Vanessa Zambotti, finishes on the top of the podium. And she takes the gold medal. And now the national anthem of Mexico.
Thank you very much. Last family picture of the day, big women of 78 feet.
Right, we come to the end of our European Open broadcast here in Warsaw. Just enough time for me to tell you about the next judo on Judo TV. It'll be the IJF Grand Prix in Tbilisi. That's from the 25th to the 27th of March. And then the week after that, we go from Tbilisi in Georgia to Samsun in Turkey. That's the 1st to the 3rd of April. We look forward to your company then. It just remains for me to thank Mari and to thank Mario for all their help. And terrific from them. And from me, it's bye-bye from Warsaw.